All right, so I figured I'd just take you along for a little walk about what I've been up to the last few days. Hey, come on, Monty. So I've been decorating up some spaces here and stacking more walls and making steps. And Monty's getting ready to drop off some fertilizer. But yeah, there's some rhubarb started there, and yeah, berry bushes. We got Saskatoon. Come here. And we have a brush pile to burn off in the morning. This is all sheet mulching, so I know it looks like cardboard, but that's that's what we do. Lay several layers of it down, and then doing the sheet mulch on, or the chipped mulch on top of it. So it goes from looking like that to the chipped mulch. So anyway, that's what I worked on today. And come on, guy. Come on, buddy. And my mom just gave me some, like, 7 pretty good sized goldfish. And I was working on this one the other day. So anybody that wants to get a free gym membership, we use rocks instead of steel, and we create functional art instead of nothing. Right? This is where we find the rocks at. And just a few weeks ago, I was I would have been standing in about 3 feet of water right here. So this whole area, it floods in the water that washes off the hillside up here. It comes down through here, and it comes over here, and it spreads out, and it fills up this whole area. And then, like right here was where it was spilling out, and that goes down this way. Come on, Monty, this way. We're in Marcus territory. So this is a sinkhole that developed. Um, Somebody's gonna be telling me, "Don't, dude, don't stand that close to that thing." But you know, it's probably okay. It's probably okay until it's not, right? So this was all the way full of water, all the way across here. This little um, cool thing that I've been working on. So, and we use pallets as trellis and windbreaks and shade for the plants. Because, like out here in the desert, you know, there's really not much shade. So, if you can provide a little bit of shade before the trees grow, then it just helps everything grow. right? I mean, it just makes sense. Everything that's little needs a break from the reality, needs some protection. Come on, up. So this place is kind of like, well, one of my friends described it pretty well. She says it's a mix between Alice in Wonderland and Willy Wonka. Come on, Monty. Monty, down. So water was even flowing into this little ditch here, and then worked its way all the way out here to the edge of the road. Really like spring. It's in all of the, this is a Saskatoon. These are all going to turn into berries, edible berries. And we come out. It's important if you have the bigger dogs, more active dogs, that you actually get them out and exercise them. You know, they need to go on walks. They need to be able to run around and jump and play. Here's some more rock walls with some cherry bins on top of it that we'll be using for worm composting, vermiculture. Here's a cool little project. So more steps, more gardens. And that was a couple of Chevy truck beds. Right? I just made some little pins to put between the stake pockets. And up, come on, up, Monty, up, up. So we're digging what looks like a grave, but it's not. It's for a cast iron bathtub to be a fish tank right up in here. And this nice little terrace. This is a apricot tree, and there's one down here at the other end of it too. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing, dude? What are you crying about, buddy? Come on, this way. So this is where another place I get a lot of my rocks. Down in these ditches here. Yeah, and so like when you have a homestead, you need to have holes in the ground, you know, because like all the weeds and stuff, you can put them in the hole in the ground, right? And then when the hole in the ground gets full, then you catch it on fire when it's after it's rained, or you know, when it's a good time of the year, you know, typically around like March or April. But oh, quit your crying! You're such a big dog. You sure cry a lot. Yeah, you sure cry a lot. Come on. So I got some raspberry growing there, and some mint and some catnip, and my little rack fell over into the hot tub. It's basically just a fish pond, but I've got to get a new liner for it. Monty, come. And we've got lots of rocks, stacking lots of rocks. Nope, come on. But yeah, this time of year, everything's just starting to green up. Um, that's one of the nice things about I'm here in Central Washington. That we get all 4 seasons, and we get snow, and we get wind, and there's really hot summers that help you to really appreciate the really cold winters, right? And vice versa. And the sun sets. The sun went down some time ago, but that's people pay dollars for that right there. I tell you, it's quiet. It's peaceful. I've learned things from living out here in the desert that are helpful to other people too. I've got a lot of people that they come here and they try to sell me their way of doing things that isn't working for them, and they they don't realize that there's things that the land will teach you. There's things that the universe teaches you that no university can match. There was required reading when, like in 6th grade, I think, and it reminded us not to let schooling get in the way of our education. So I always looked to my elders. I looked towards people who knew how to do what I wanted to learn how to do. Right? So I hung out with them. And if you're not an asshole, people will let you hang out with them if you're helpful. Anyway, I was watching a documentary a little bit ago, and it showed a prison in Ohio, and talking about some of the inmates that are incarcerated there. And during this documentary, you see the interactions between the staff and the inmates, and one of them made a comment that really kind of stuck with me. And he says, I'm just going to keep doing things that keep me in here because it's easy. Somebody gives you the food. Somebody gives you a place to sleep that's really actually somewhat secure. Somebody else pays the water bill. Somebody else pays for the cable. I don't know how to live on the outside, because on the outside it's just all for yourself. And I don't know how to do that. And that's a shame, because we've been advertised a way to live that is not working for a lot of people, right? I mean, I think the numbers are even more than like one out of every 99 adults in America is incarcerated. That's the highest in the world. All because somebody broke a law, right? Well, and if there's a victim to your actions, I believe that you should be held accountable. But are we actually holding people accountable for their actions and repaying the victims, or are we uh, putting them in through a reciprocal system, or like reciprocating door system, a just us system that isn't teaching people how to find a healthy um, way to make their money, right? I mean, because they're choosing things that are pretty dangerous, and I mean, if a person's thinking, they're going to try to limit their dangerous things that they're going to put themselves into, right? And I don't know. It's my belief that when people know better, they do better, and when they feel like other people care about them, they start to care about other people. There's a lot of people that feel cast out. They couldn't they couldn't live in a box the way everybody else is living in a box, and so they rebel, right? And well, maybe rebel is an acronym: resisting enslavement by empowering liberty. What are you doing? Oh, you're stuck. Oh, you're stuck. What'd you do? How'd you do that, dude? All right, gotcha. All right. All right. Well, hey, it's getting dark, so um, talked enough about that. But yeah, so that's where I've been building this ministry, because what I've been doing here, you could call it landscaping, but it's deeper than that. It's creating the environment that provides for our food and our shelter and a lot of clean water, you know, and it all happens by intentional design. You know, the water that used to fall right here and just wash away now falls here, spreads out, and soaks in. And so things have started growing here that weren't growing when I came here. And when we change our environment, that's the thing, like right now. So all of these rocks, he says, I want my food. Um, so all of these rocks, right now it's beginning to be dark, right? In nighttime. So they're going to cool down, and because there's airflow all around them, right? They cool down, and then in the morning, when the warm air comes up and hits them, it creates condensation and dew points. And there's also air wells, or like air dams, all over the property, and that's where the air currents get trapped, and so then you're making a condensation zone. He says we're not usually walking this long and talking and stuff so much. Come on, hey. Anyway, so yeah, um, there are solutions to the problems that we are facing, and they're actually really almost embarrassingly simple. Um, it's simple. The solutions are very simple, but we have to step away from a life that we've been advertised, and we have to step into one that actually makes sense. So if you like the content here, and you want to learn these ways of relovution and how to live free, right? We should be able to live free. Now, we shouldn't be able to require things from somebody else without compensating them for it. I mean, I don't think that that's fair. because you have some people that will just need everything done for them, right? I mean, come on, there's something that you can contribute. So, but we shouldn't have regulations in place that prevent people from building houses like Fred Flintstone did. Right? I know he's a fictional character, but give me a break. You know, castles have stood for thousands of years so far. A little bit of maintenance, a little bit of fixing here and there. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? But really, out of rock, out of earthen structures, there's so many ways that we can be building houses that don't burn, they don't catch on fire. You don't have the mold problems associated with a lot of these rentals that people are renting. So anyway, like and subscribe if you will. It'll help us to create more awareness in the world, because that's the only thing that we're really lacking is awareness of another way.